Play the piano and write. Try to keep her calm and keep things moving forward no matter what. You know, I'm not the panicker. Just the show goes on regardless of what happens. I know that it will work out in the end. I was always into music growing up from an early age, and it was just a natural thing. Like, you know, everybody kind of has a natural something that they're good at. So music was my thing. And then the arts. I've done pretty much everything in theater, from you know, singing, dancing, acting, and as I get older, I'm basically a music director around town. But my association with Dionysus has been, you know, pretty much from the beginning. Like I said, I came in that first year after they'd already gotten organized. The lady that was working with them on music, her husband was transferred to the other part of the country, and so she had to move, and I just kind of came in and took over what she was doing with them. And then as, you know, we got to know one another more, the opportunity was there for me to be able to write and to express and to, you know, create our own shows. And so that's where my passion is with this organization, is to find a way to give a voice. And it's not just giving a voice. I mean, the interesting part is you can talk with those with disabilities and they share with you their insights and their stories. And then you know, you go and you try to find a way to put that into something that that expresses what they're telling you in a way that brings it dignity and gives it validity on stage. And I think we treat that well, the subject matter as well. One of the things that's interesting, people come, I think, sometimes to our performances, and they come because they're going to support the disabled, and they come doing what all of us would do. We support them, and we will applaud, and we're going to, and sometimes even maybe in a patronizing way, but I mean, I think that's their mindset. You know, we're going to come and we're going to show support. But when they come and see that they're really not having to patronize them, that they're really earning the applause because of the quality of their performance, the fact that their disabilities that we see as a disability is, if you took that out of our shows, everything would fall apart. It is not the able-bodied storylines that hold up what we do in Dionysus. It's the disabled. So I think that is a big revelation for people in the audience. And then I think another thing is that what you learn when you work with people with disabilities, when you give them a chance, you know, the ADA was a very sweeping piece of legislation during President Bush #1, his administration, saw fit to pass. It changed the landscape of everything in the country as far as bathrooms and sidewalks and inclusion. And so I think that's kind of what we try to do in theater. We just try to figure out how their disabilities are not a disability to them, but they're an asset. And when you do that, they're able then to walk on stage with confidence and just be an actor. You know, they're an actor who happens to be blind, just like I'm an actor who happens to whatever. I've learned that when you work with people with disabilities, you realize that we're all disabled in some form or fashion. Just some people's disabilities are more obvious than others. You know, we're able maybe to hide ours better, but still, when push comes to shove, you realize that inside, somehow in our minds, we all have some sort of disability that stops us from being the best that we really want to be. And so I think that's two important things. First of all, you don't feel sorry for them at all. They make you they make you proud to be a human being. And then you realize that we're all flawed, and we're all in this together. It's not the disabled against the able-bodied. It's just we're all in this together. Everybody processes something a little bit different, and certainly those with disabilities, depending on what their disability is. Some of their disabilities are physical, others are emotional, some are cognitive or learning disabilities. So some of the people read music, but most people do not read music. So I don't usually stick a piece of music in front of their face. It's pretty much by rote. Follow my example. Here's the words. Here's the rhythm. And I really, and it's not, I don't know that I've made a conscious effort. I just realized that God has given me the ability to be able to write in such a way to where people can embrace it fairly quickly. You know, I think when I think back of like Dr. Seuss books, it seems so simple. He's brilliant, but it doesn't take you. Don't. It's not very lofty. It's not reading Chekhov when you read Dr. Seuss, but yet it flows and it has a rhythm, and you embrace it very quickly. And I kind of approach my writing that way. You know, I don't get too lofty. I want it to have a rhythm that's a tune and a hook that you can go out singing. The audience can hook onto in the song. So. You know, I'm not expecting it to stand the test of time or anything like that and win some lofty awards, but it works because of the honesty of the actors that are singing it. When you have someone that is visually impaired and you get to know them, and like the visually impaired person in our show, Markia, who's been with us for almost since I've been in the troupe. You know, and you see their struggles, and you listen to get to know their heart, and then you're able to write a song that expresses that in a beautiful way. You know, it's just magic because they're being very honest when they sing it in a way that it wouldn't come across if I sang it. It's what they bring to the table that makes the songs work, and it's magical. The people that you're working with are more important than my material. Because if I did not have them, the material wouldn't matter, you know. It is their integrity, and so I keep that in mind. It helps me be more patient. It helps me figure out a way to communicate with them, maybe, to where they can understand it better. So, you know, yeah, it makes me it makes the process so much better. The best advice that I could give them is to study your craft, become as good at what you do as possible. Become as good a musician as possible as you can. You know, perfect your art, perfect your ability, and then to you know, be honest with people. Listen to them. The stories will come. The honesty and the integrity will come if you're listening to the stories of the people that you're writing for and listening to.